It's Tuesday. You know that means it's Tracing Roots, Telling Tales Tuesdays, Genealogy with Donna, and this is episode 50 about breakthroughs. So, who's your ancestor that changed everything? Breakthrough moments. That one record that unlocks the whole line. Sometimes it's just one document. A will, a land deed, a church record of a baptism, christening that suddenly connects generations. One name, one signature, one overlooked detail. Perhaps it's a document that wasn't available when you looked the first time. Maybe it wasn't a document that was even digitized at that particular moment. And suddenly the story expands. Real talk, breakthroughs rarely look dramatic at first glance. Oh, that's so very true. How brick walls crumble unexpectedly. You can stare at a problem for months, even years, with no movement. Then you get a new database launch. You get a new DNA match. A fresh set of eyes seeing something that you missed. Brick walls don't always fall from force. Sometimes they fall from perspective. My daughter Jody and I have come through those where she saw something and she said, wait, let's look and see. And when she looked, which is several years later than when I started, she finds something that hadn't been available or I hadn't seen at that particular moment when I was doing it. So that has been very cool for me. It was always there for her, so maybe not necessarily for her, though I know that there are several things that she has found that are like, oh my God, that happens a lot. Why patience beats obsession. When we push too hard, we start forcing connections. Patience allows for records to surface, technology to improve, context to mature, and logic to settle. Obsession narrows your vision. Patience widens it. You recognize the turning point in research. Some discoveries shift everything. You know, it was very interesting when I kept going back and back and back, and I found Diggory Priest was on the Mayflower and actually signed the Mayflower Compact. The fact that he didn't live past the first winter was very sad. But his children had stayed in the Netherlands with his wife. She remarried, and it took 7 years for her to then come over to the United States, well, to the colonies, and start her life with her new husband. So that's how I got here. When I think about other people that broke through for my being here, my grandparents. My grandfather was from Dover, New Hampshire, and my grandmother was from Boston, Massachusetts. They got together. I don't know how or what their story was. I do know their story prior to them leaving Boston and came to California. My grandfather's plan, I guess it was, his plan was that he was coming to California because of the oil industry. So eventually he would get here. He got here a little bit sooner than he expected. And then, of course, my father, who was born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut, probably would have stayed on the East Coast. Again, he joined the Navy and asked to be deployed to the West Coast. And because of that, he met my mother, and now I'm here. That's, long way around, but those are some of the opportunities that happened, which is why I'm here, specifically me. Celebrating wins, big and small. Not every breakthrough is dramatic. It might be for you, but in the scheme of things. So sometimes it's finding a maiden name. Oh, that is so important. And getting the right spelling of it. Smith versus Smythe. Confirming a birthplace, not just a state, but actually the city, county, correcting long-standing errors. I've had that happen. I've been able to correct the 1930 census, where my grandparents' last name was misspelled. So that's cool because ensuing generations will be able to see it corrected and know that that had been put in as soon as somebody saw it. So that was kind of cool. And then breaking through one generation further, going back, instead of having it be a great, 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 it's now 5 greats. And that's always important because it gets you closer to where you came, either in the United States, came to the shores and immigrated, or the country that your ancestors came from. You can see actually where they came from, not just where they departed from, which is wonderful. So real talk, every ancestor uncovers a victory. And it is a victory to be able to find each line. I was lucky enough to be able to know my great-grandmother and get the details from my great-uncle about what he remembered of his father. Unfortunately, his father died when he was 13, so that kind of left some things open. However, in taking a trip back to the East Coast and being able to find more information on one line of my family, it kind of solidified a few things that I had thought about, wondered about, and of course that's a giggle fun time for me. So there's always one ancestor who opens the door for everyone else. And when you find them, the tree stops feeling like paperwork and actually starts feeling like a legacy. It actually starts feeling like a living being, because your family tree is where you grow and where the generations coming will grow, but you came from something, and there's the tree to prove it. Anyway, I hope this helps. Again, if you ever have any troubles or want some help, I can either help you or point you to the resources that might help you. And I'm always here to help in any way that I can. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.